right, everyone, I want to welcome you to round 56 of VVV Gaming's The Losers Bracket. I am joined by my co-hosts, Jason, VVV Paradise. Jason, how are you?
Doing great tonight, sir. Doing great.
Awesome. And I'm also joined by VVV Jolly. Matt, how are you, sir?
Just keeping it real while keeping it safe.
I heard you had a good weekend. Is that true?
Oh my God, we had so much fun. All the brawlers were in town in good old Washington, D.C., and we tore it up pretty good.
Well, we're going to get to that because we are going to have VVV Relent on the show later, and you guys can recap some of the drama, thrills, and fun that you guys had at Pound 5. But before we get to that, Jason, it's my understanding that we have 3 guests here. Would you like to introduce them?
Most definitely. So we've got some really big news going on with this new North American Star League that's coming out. So we're going to bring in some of our Starcraft staff and players. We've got VVV Titan back again, VVV Time, and then also our Starcraft manager, VVV Roar. How in the hell are you guys doing tonight, sirs?
Doing very well. Thanks for having me.
Doing awesome as usual as well. Thanks.
Yep, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting us on, guys.
So, Roar, why don't you start us out by telling us about the North American Star League? You know, In Control, this was a thing he kept talking about. This has sort of been the big news. So talk to us a little bit about that, as well as introduce your 2 players and tell us why we should vote for them and explain the voting process.
All right, so as everyone knows in the StarCraft community, I'm sure not all of you know, but In Control had this big, giant secret that he released during or after the Idra versus General show match, which General did win, which I figured Jerry would love to hear. But anyway, on to the big news here. The North American StarCraft League is secured in for 3 seasons with a grand total prize pool of $400,000. The first season is going to be $100,000, second season is going to be $100,000, and third season is going to be $200,000. How things are going to work is they said they're going to partly base it off of votes, which is top 50 voters are going to be put into a pool. And In Control did state, though, that it's not going to be purely off votes. After that, you play in online qualifiers, and then the top 16 of those qualifiers will go to LA to play in a studio. And it's going to be somewhat like the GSL type combine where you play it out, and it's going to be live streamed, and everyone's going to be able to tune in. There's going to be a premiere stream for high quality, and there's going to be a free low stream. There's no real indication how prize pools are going to be sent out. There's no real indication on these sponsors, but, I mean, it seems pretty legit. I'm kind of skeptical still because clearly $400,000 is a lot of money. There's no ties into the EG backing that is In Control, and Fnatic also has no backing into this league, which is tied into Grey Torp. So I'm kind of skeptical. Voting does work like this. You get to log onto the site. You just have to send in your email, you get a confirmation email, you make a username, and then you get 10 votes. We ask that you provide 2 votes to all of the VVV members. There are 6 of them. I will name them off right now. We have 2 of them on the show right now, which is VVV Titan and VVV Time, who are both pretty freaking awesome. And then we have VVV Murder, VVV Rigid, VVV Allege, and VVV Angry. All of them are equally amazing players, and they've been doing great things for the VVV community. I'd also like to add that the reason we think this league is going to be so legit is Idra has actually dropped out of the GSL for the next season and is flying back to the United States to play in this league. So it's going to be a pretty big deal. I mean, if this thing flies off like everyone's hoping it will, I'm pretty sure it will rival the GSL, if not topple it.
I was just doing a little math, Roar. And the way I count Rigid, Titan, Murder, Angry.
Yeah, I know what you're coming from. You get 10 votes, there's 6 players, and it is going to be hard to distinguish your 2 votes, but we ask that you just... I mean, if you see someone's on the lower end of the votes there, go ahead and raise them. They announced that they are going to limit a team size of 5 players per team due to they don't want it to be strictly a team-based league. Yeah.
So, with that being said, we're going to have our StarCraft players vie for your votes. We have 6 StarCraft players who have to fit 5 spots, and everybody out there is going to get 10 votes. We have brought on people to court my vote as well as Jolly's vote. Actually, Jolly, is your vote purchased, or how does somebody get your vote?
I enjoy a nice steak dinner, a little Chianti, on the side, and I would say whichever date goes the best for me between Time and Titan, I think that's where my vote's going to go. So I'm free on Thursday. Go ahead and give me a call. Let me know.
Yeah, make sure you guys get that on tape because, we should get some audience participation. Maybe we can choose the background music while you guys are having dinner or help you decide on a wine. We're here to help. So, Time, Tristan, talk to me. Time, since you've been on a winning streak lately, we're going to let you go first. Now, before we get into why someone should vote for you, I think it's fair to congratulate you on your recent engagement to your fiancée. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now, if you could, tell us a little bit about you, what you're doing. It's my understanding you're a PhD student, but with the recent engagement, some of your plans may change. So tell us what's going on.
All right. So personally, yeah, as you just heard, I just got engaged on February 11th. I flew up to see my girlfriend who lives in Chicago, attends the University of Chicago studying history. And we went to Fogo de Chão for dinner. And Fogo de Chão is an excellent restaurant. They have many different cuts of meat, and you basically get as much as you want. It was very wonderful.
For those who are not familiar, Fogo de Chão is probably Chicago's premier Brazilian steakhouse and also one of my favorite restaurants. So your fiancé goes to my old school, where I went to grad school, which is fantastic, and you ate at one of my favorite restaurants. So this leads to what? Did you propose to her at the restaurant after? Tell us how that went.
So after dinner, we went back to her condo, and as she was opening some wine that she had gotten from her sister for Christmas, I got down on one knee and I proposed, and I gave her a very beautiful sapphire engagement ring, and we had a great weekend together. I'm very excited about it.
Well, I'd hope so, because that's quite the commitment. Well, congratulations. So, for the romantics out there, let me guess, Jason, he's earning your votes right now, isn't he?
He is melting my heart. It's dripping all over my chest.
Well, Jolly, what do you think?
He lost my vote.
You're so cynical.
No vote for you.
All right. Well, Patrick, tell us a little bit about your StarCraft achievements, since that is what we will be voting on.
All right, so for my StarCraft achievements, I'm doing very well recently. Today I'm on an 8-game winning streak on the ladder, and I've just gotten number 1 in my ladder division. On Monday, I participated in the Fire Flash Open, also the All for One Gaming Open. They're same thing. And I tied for 3rd place in that. And then on Tuesday, I played in the Vile Gaming Open, and I got 1st place in that, winning 3-2 against Stalife from the Team Nova. And today, I was asked to do an impromptu best-of-7 show match against Destiny, who is a very controversial streamer. I won that 4-3, so I'm feeling really good about myself, and I hope to do really well at MLG.
Awesome time. Well, I look forward to seeing you in Dallas. And for everybody out there, this is VV Time. And if you are a hopeless romantic or you're a fan of math, I think Time probably has earned your vote. Now, on the opposite end of the math spectrum, or actually parallel to math, we have Mr. Music Man himself, VVV Titan. Tristan, how are you?
Doing good, thanks.
Awesome. So tell us, why should we vote for you?
Well, let's see. Why should you vote for me? Well, the reason you should vote for me is because I work 30-plus hours a week. I still go to school for full-time, and I'm putting all dedication I can up, whatever time I have on the side, to the game to be the best I can. However, right now I have dropped a little bit in the North American rankings, but that's nothing really major because there's no doubt I'm still like the number 1 Zerg in North America. It's pretty much fact at this point.
Do you feel when Idra returns to North America, you're going to lose that position?
Yeah, definitely. For right now, I will, but that's only gonna be for a short time. I mean, right now he's been in Korea, so he's been practicing like 8 hours a day or something crazy, and he's playing the best players in the world. But with him coming back, I'll be able to get games with him on ladder, and I'm also starting to play on the Europe servers, so I'm going to get a lot of practice there. It's just going to be just a matter of time before I can pass him. I even played him recently, and it was a really close game. It was just the matter of me just being out of position. That's all it came down to. The mechanics are there, the speed's there. It's just getting the time in and getting the experience against other players.
All right, Tristan, knowing that you are a very talented Zerg player, Complexly tried to recruit you for a reason. Let's talk about what you do outside the game.
Well, outside the game, my favorite sport's Ultimate Frisbee. If any of you play that, hell yeah, there's nothing better than playing that, especially being the handler. But the best thing I'd love to do, that's music. Practice my trumpet 2 to 4 hours a day, depending on how much time I have to put in, usually in the morning. And I just love it. It's God damn it. But and I also do a giggle, which they're starting to mention, so I'm going to do that for you just to get your vote. Give you a nice little baby giggle. So there you go. I can do many different
Whoa,
talents.
Jolly, hold on. Jolly, Jolly, what do you think? Jolly, what do you think?
Holy shit!
Is that vote for the year?
That was awesome. I am so turned on right now.
Oh, wow.
Wait,
What?
Just wait.
Talk about unintended consequences, huh? All right. Well, you know what? I don't think we're going to go anything past the baby giggle. That is VV Time and VV Titan, everyone. Thank you both so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So that was Time and Titan Roar. So, you going to vote for them?
Oh my god, I already voted for him. I mean, how can you not love these guys?
Oh,
This is
God.
best
Roar,
podcast ever.
seriously, how do you do it? How do you cultivate these fantastic personalities? You have grown the StarCraft division with your players to have amazing personalities, wonderful people, active on the site. Seems like you are the poster child for what a good divisional manager is. So I want to thank you so much for all of that.
You know, I'm thankful that you're so proud of me. It means so much. I mean, like, I'm sparkling right now.
I know, dim it down a little, dim it down. But yeah, seriously, I think they're fantastic, and I really appreciate all the hard work you do.
Thanks a lot. I know everyone loves to be here. VV, easily the best community in the world.
Any shout-outs you want to give to any players or your fellow staff members?
There's too many. I'm just going to round it up with shout out to the whole entire VV community. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for supporting StarCraft 2, supporting all console gaming, supporting Call of Duty, supporting DotA, supporting Rift, even though I don't have enough money to play it. You know, support every game out there. You guys are amazing. Keep it up.
Thank you so much. VVV Roar, everyone. Wow, Jolly, what do you think about that baby laugh?
I don't even know where to begin. That was one of the most stunning moments in my life. That blew me away.
I think we need him in like a Rift channel, like every time. We might need to put that in a VVV rifting video for the.
Oh, absolutely. Like every time we kill somebody, that little giggle comes on. That would be hilarious. I'm so psyched for the StarCraft. I can't even describe to you. This is huge, man. The North American League, MLG, such huge, huge hype is coming to StarCraft 2 right now. And I think everyone's really kind of picked it up. In our community, at least, everyone's been hopping on to watch the streams and the matches. And there have been upwards of 5,000-10,000 people watching these not even advertised matches. I think this could go really, really big for them. I mean, I really think sky's the limit for StarCraft 2 right now in the U.S. I'm psyched.
I agree with you 100%. I think it's telling that we've had console players who are in VVV gaming apply to our StarCraft division. I was both humbled and impressed that none of them came to me and said, hey, can we be in the StarCraft division? It was unprecedented that members of VV Gaming who are in VVV decided that they would apply to the StarCraft division, which I thought was fantastic. So I think Roar and the whole team are doing phenomenal things. I think it's awesome that Time just got engaged, which is fantastic. Wouldn't mind having him here in Chicago. And I look forward to meeting him at Dallas.
I can't wait for Dallas. I'm so excited. Now that I understand all the vernacular and all the tactics and things from watching these guys play over the last couple months, I'm going to be like a kid in a candy store at Dallas. I'm going to stay by the StarCraft area for most of the time and just love every minute of it, because this is something that, everyone, I think, at some point in their gaming background, well, at least I don't want to say everyone, but I think a lot of people, particularly PC gamers, at some point have real-time strategy in their background, because there's been a long tradition of excellent RTS games on the PC. For me, it's a dream come true to get to watch it played on such a high level. I can't wait. Super excited.
Yeah, I gotta admit, guys, I'm pretty stoked for Dallas too. In fact, I just got time off from work. My ticket is secured. I'm ready. I can't wait to see you guys. But, alas, that is a future event. Let's cover an event that just passed this past weekend. For Smash Brothers, Pound 5 happened in DC. Of course, Jolly, you were able to attend. And also, VV Relent is joining us tonight, and you were there at the event as well, sir. How did you enjoy your time, your very first Smash Brothers event?
Oh, it was a fantastic weekend. I mean, first off, I just want to say the Brawl community is awesome. Everybody knows everybody on a really personal level. And it's great to see a big community like that stay together so tight with each other and be friends all around everywhere. It's just great to see in a good gaming community.
Now, while we might have a great gaming community, I heard that there was a little bit of frustration with you and some of the Smash Brothers community, though, at one point in the event. Give us some details. What happened? I heard that maybe some fisticuffs
Brawling happened?
some fisticuffs were being thrown down in the Brawl community. Yeah, Brawl's kind of aptly
What the
named. It
heck
sounds.
is this, Relent? You come into a civilized Brawl community, slop your Call of Duty ass in there, and the next thing you know, you've got fists being thrown. Care to explain how you caused a brawl?
Well,
No pun intended.
only thing I'm going to say is I am the number one hype man for any game. That's all that needs to be said.
Oh my God!
Oh.
All right, hype man, tell us the story.
Oh, man.
All right, well, the Brawl player from New England, his name is Bloodcross. He's kind of known as a major rager. He's always been going crazy. Well, he played Cheese in round 2 pools. It came down to the final game. Cheese only had 1 stock left. He had 3. And, well, I rallied Cheese to come back and win and completely free stock him, which caused him to have a major fit involving crying, grabbing onto his skull, throwing his controller, and just random cursing like Tourette's.
So that goes beyond the Mel Gibson mad. That's like Fear Moho mad, like make videos kind of mad.
Yes, it is. And that only was the beginning. Cheese then later played him in the amateur finals, and he was up 1 series to none. Cheese came back and won the 2nd series, causing him to rage quit out of the last 2 games by chain grabbing him, causing him to bang his controller on the table, which Cheese walked away to give him a second. He asked where Cheese was going, and I told him Cheese was going to go get him a tissue, which kind of made him mad and take off his headset and try and dive and punch me like a Falco punch. And it just didn't work.
Wow.
He was given a warning right there on the spot.
Relent, you are such a troll. I love it.
That's
Yeah,
like,
that's the
it
way to
was
roll.
just crazy.
That's
And
the way to
then-
roll.
The final series started, and at this point, he's rage quitting every game right as soon as she starts chain grabbing him. So I start a VVV chant because she's about to win, and a lot of people were trash talking VVV, and I wasn't going to let that happen. So VVV chant starts, and he just rage quits the final game, gets up and tries to start a major brawl with everyone. And at that point, he was kicked out of the brawl event. Oh,
Sorry. I should've-
You all right
Yes.
over there, Jerry?
Wow. So that's his real big thing, huh? Holy shit.
okay, so where do we go from there?
You don't
How-
go anywhere from there. What it is look, first of all, lesson number 1, if you're going to trash talk VVV, expect the VVV chant to go up. Just expect it. It's going to happen. There generally are a lot of us, and we're loud. So lesson to the Brawl player. But yeah, hopefully somebody got him a tissue and he blew his nose because
Just like that. Exactly.
I feel bad for him.
You know, the question is, though, where was Jolly when this kid was raging?
Charlie, you weren't there, were you?
I couldn't be there for most of the tournament. Unfortunately, I had work obligations. But if I had been there, it would have been less adorable of a story. There would have been some sort of display of my karate moves for all to see. He probably would have been so terrified by the karate moves, he just would have quietly sat back down.
Wow. Well, there you go. VVV Karate Kid. Part.
I've watched enough Kung Fu Panda to know how to kick some ass. I'll tell you that
Oh,
much.
you know what?
Yeah.
the
Hey, you
secret
saw the new
ingredient-
Karate Kid movie, right?
I could only sit through like half of it before I
Kung
just
Fu Panda 2's coming out this year.
don't understand how Will Smith can put his kids into a movie like that. It's horrible.
All right. So let's talk about the results outside the drama. Relent, it's my understanding that in the amateur bracket, Cheese would then take first place. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in the pro bracket, our highest placement was 9th with VV Logic. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then next in line would be Chibo, who came in 12th, or how did he come in?
Somewhere around there. The brackets they don't play placement rounds, so it's around 12th to 15th.
And then Summer would come top 25 to round out the Brawl bracket, correct?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Around there. Again, with the brackets not having placement rounds, I'd say around there.
All right, so Pound 5 happens. Obviously, Cheese wins amateur. You get a player all riled up. And then Jolly, once again, opens his club, being the master of hospitality. This would be your first time at Club District in Washington, D.C., correct?
Yes, it was, and it was a great time.
So tell us about the evening.
Well, before I do that, Jolly was not there for the second night that we were there. He wasn't there for like the first 20 minutes. So a bouncer wouldn't let me in and said, he doesn't care who I know, I'm not getting in. I hit up Jolly. 5 minutes later, Jolly's on the phone yelling at him to let me in. To which I say, I'm VVV Relent. I get haters and I get VIP. And just walk in there. So that's the first thing. As far as District, the club itself, it is the greatest place ever. Loud music, beautiful women, awesome time. And thank you, Jolly, for making it so awesome.
Yeah, you don't have to thank me. But I can't wait to get that soundbite of you guys on the radio. We've got a good Pound 5 shout out to all the players that we're representing on 99.5 here in Washington, D.C. So I'll have that clip soon. No, we had a blast. I mean, obviously these guys are a riot. Cheese, Chibo, Anthony. They were grinding on girls, holding them up against the wall against their will. It was wonderful to watch.
Holding them up against the wall against their will.
Yeah, Anthony really knows how to choke a girl properly. But no. They met a bunch of girls, and I'll tell you what, all these chicks that I introduced them to were raving about these guys. Last night we all went out, and they were like, those guys have got to come back soon. Had so much fun with them. They were party animals. Like, it was so much fun. It was a really good time. Apparently, Chibo made out with Lauren, the birthday girl. I didn't know about this.
What?
She definitely made out with him last night. So I have confirmation that Chibo was tonguing down the birthday girl.
Oh,
That is
Chibo,
crazy.
always reluctant, but once that ice melts, he's in there.
In there, huh? Hmm.
But he
Oh, he was in there all right.
I'm sure he was.
and just started dancing and going nuts. I was like, you're a boss. They all went nuts.
Man, I wish I was there. It sounds like you guys had a great time. I'm very jealous, but I'm really glad that you guys had that experience. Relent, was there anybody that you wanted to give a shout out to from the weekend?
Well, of course, VVV Cheese, better known as Albert Pone Sauce. VVV Summer, Logic, everyone I met at Brawl, all the Brawl community players, and of course, Jolly.
Got to give a shout out to Kiara. She's a sweetheart. She was so much fun. She's such a great supporter of the VVV community. As well as Smokey Prog showed up. It was so good to see Rob. Always an honor to be in the presence of such a talented and incredible gamer. We had a blast, man. It was a great weekend. It was good to see all the Triple Vs come out.
This is the first time I have to admit, gentlemen, that I really do wish I was there. It sounds like you guys had a blast. And again, I want to also thank you, Jolly, for always doing what you do for the VV community. So hats off to you, sir.
It's an honor and a pleasure to work within this community. Thank you.
We need to move along. And before we go to Call of Duty, because I can only listen to Relent so much, plus now I've got this image of him choking a woman against her will against the wall. So let's talk about, I want to also discuss one of our divisions that a lot of players have asked me about, and I have brought on sort of the captain, the leader of our Dota 2 division. So I want to welcome BVV ToraBora. Scott, welcome to the Losers Bracket.
Hey, how's it going?
It is a pleasure to have you on the show. So for those who don't know, now, first of all, I want to let everybody know our Dota division has been really good to us. We track our website traffic, and they've definitely brought VVV gaming to the Dota community. A lot of people from Dota have been looking at our team, and it's really exciting to see that. But tell everyone, if you don't mind, Scott, a little bit about the Dota team and what competitions are going on, because I do know, a lot of people are obviously looking forward to Dota 2, and we've talked about this before, but give everybody a sort of quick recap of what's been going on lately in VV Gaming's Dota division, who some of the players are, and what you guys have been playing.
Sure. Well, yeah, everyone's just real excited about Dota 2, but that doesn't mean that stuff isn't going on in Dota right now. There's actually more tournaments than there's ever been. Tons of stuff going on right now. It's pretty awesome. There's the Sunday Evening Cup Series every Sunday, which is put on by NADota.com. And it's basically just a bracket-style tournament. All the teams in North America compete every single week, and it's just a really good time, a lot of competition. We have 5 wins to date in that, and we've won almost every single time we've competed in that tournament. Also, we have Farm for Fame going on right now. This is the big tournament. It's basically it's the biggest tournament in Dota for online events. You have to get invited to even attempt to qualify for the event. There's hundreds of teams that get invited to the qualifiers. You can't apply if you're not invited. It's very exclusive in that sense. And we got a chance to qualify, and we actually made it through. We had to win 4 games. Our first game was against C4, a team from Lebanon. That was actually pretty easy. Then we played Vanity, which is a Czech team. They're one of the top 10 teams in Europe right now, and we beat them in the second round of the qualifiers. For the last 2 games, we played Sky and then ZG, who are both German teams. And ZG is best team in Germany, and Germany is a pretty big powerhouse in terms of Dota, so that was a really huge win for us. Beat some of the best players in Europe, everything like that. So we actually got to qualify for the tournament. There's 16 teams left in the tournament, so we're in the top 16 in the world right now in terms of Farm for Fame.
That is awesome to hear. For a lot of people who may not know much about the Dota landscape, you mentioned Germany being a powerhouse and you guys are in the top 16. Give us a little bit of feel for what other North American teams are there in the top 16, and what are the top Dota countries, so to speak, that are playing in this Farm for Fame tournament?
Sure. Well, in America, the only other top team right now is a team VT. Actually, they just got picked up by the Starcraft 2 sponsor VT, and they're a pretty good team. They're competing in Gosu Cup and stuff like that. They did not qualify for Farm for Fame, though. We're the only American team competing in the Farm for Fame tournament. The best teams in Dota, they're all from China. It's kind of like Korea to StarCraft 2, China is to Dota. Outside of China, the top teams are from Ukraine, Russia, and then MYM, who's mostly from Denmark. We're actually playing the Ukrainian team DTS in the first round of the Farm for Fame group stage, and they're just a powerhouse team lately. They actually went to China to compete with all those teams and actually beat the top Chinese team eHome at the LAN event, and they've just been the best consistently. However, they just had some roster changes, so they're not as strong as they used to be, so we're looking to pick up a win. We're actually pretty confident that we have a good shot at advancing through the next round and beating DTS.
All right, well, moving on, I would like to talk to VVV Relent. I would like to know what's going on with the $25,000 ladder and how VVV is going to win that money and then use it to buy me a pony.
Buy you a
That's
pony?
one way to introduce Call of Duty Black Ops. Holy cow. I can tell you it doesn't involve VVV, though, because we didn't make it quite to the finals. But, yeah, what Jolly said, Relent, talk to us.
On Monday the 21st, the finals for the 25K ladder happened. It was Leverage versus Optic in an extremely close match. Took all 11 games. Leverage won 6-5. Every game was close, just phenomenal matches.
I've heard from some people that a lot of people are wondering, how it went. Do we have any inside information? Because online tournaments, people are always suspicious of what may or may not have gone well. So has there been any word on the street about that?
Not that I know of. I mean, there probably is something. There always is. but nothing that's become publicly known.
Gotcha. How is our teams doing?
Motivation. Sensor decided to leave the team, but we decided to pick up Juggernometry, who got second at Nationals for Modern Warfare 2, so we're very excited to bring him along.
And I know Kate is trying to put together his roster. We were actually approached tonight by the winners of the 25K ladder, and we'll have to make a decision on what we want our Black Ops division to finally look like. So we'll see if leverage applies. So when this podcast comes out, they may already have an open application on our VVV site. So, but outside of that, are you going to be going to Dallas there, Relent?
Oh, yes, I'm going to Dallas. I will most likely be coaching Motivation. I will be getting loud, being the hype man, like I did at Pound.
Try not to enrage anybody. I don't want to have to, this is a classy event, Relent, and I can't have staff trying to pull somebody off you because you told them to go get a tissue.
I'll try, but I mean, if I start seeing tears, I gotta get them a tissue. What can I say?
Jersey Shore. The two words, they invoke a lot of pictures in your mind. One of them should be of Master Chief. Why? Because we had Halo this past weekend. The Jersey Shore LAN happened. Justin, Spikemouth, Sabu, what's going on in the world of Halo, my man?
Nothing much. We just had a pretty big weekend for two LANs, one of them being at the LAN Network and one of them being in Jersey at, I believe it was the Nerd Palace, for what they call the Jersey Shore LAN. The Jersey Shore LAN was, I think, the biggest one that people followed, mainly because it was Sicker Than Your Average, Warriors, Type C, and Status Quo. Now, I think I specifically watched this one because I wanted to see how Sicker Than Your Average would do now against another pro team at a LAN. I'm going to have to say they didn't do well. I mean, Status Quo came in on fire. Their first series against Sicker Than Your Average was 9-2 in favor of Status Quo. And honestly, another series 9-2, another series 10-0. Sicker Than Your Average is really now falling behind. And, I talked to their coach yesterday after the LAN, after he got back. And he said, they understand that they're falling behind and that they had a serious talk about it and they're trying to smarten up. But I don't see them coming back and, getting back to that top spot. I think they're just going to slowly fall behind.
Thinking about that, Justin, this kind of sets the stage for Dallas being more and more unpredictable to some, and others are saying, no, this actually sort of solidifies who are going to be the better teams. If you were to say right now, based on what changes have just happened, who are some of the solid teams that, at least now, 1 month away from the event, going into Dallas, who's looking the strongest?
If I had to say who's going in the strongest, I would say Darkest Hour. Mainly because they just won that Dr. Pepper ladder, and they've just been gaming really hard since picking up legit and nated. Other than that, I mean, you look at a lot of these pro teams now, especially landing. You look at Instinct, they land at the LAN Network, and they were really dominant. Status Quo was really dominant. A lot of these pro teams are going to maintain being in the top 8. Although, you look at teams like Final Boss, they've been struggling a little bit, but they've also announced that they've been having some problems. And there was also some speculation going around, over the past couple of days saying that they may drop Fear itself. They just dropped their coach Mazik, which still not too sure why they did that, but if they drop Fear itself and pick up somebody else, I could see them doing better. Mainly because I do know Fear itself isn't up to par with the rest of them.
I don't want to change the subject, but there's been a lot of rumors, and everybody, I want you to pay attention closely here. There have been a lot of rumors recently about coaching in Halo Reach in Major League Gaming. And it's come to light that some coaches may actually have sort of bought their way onto teams. And recently we've been cover coaching a lot, talking about a lot of different perspectives. Some I agree with, and some, Boss Nasty just came totally out of fantasy world. What do you know? I know you've always got your ear on the ground, Justin. Tell us, what is the sort of rumors? I don't want you to expose any sources or anything, but what do you know about this coaching? What are the rumors you're hearing?
Yeah, I know quite a bit about it, and people that have been following my Twitter and my Facebook have seen me post a lot of bad things about it. But basically, what I've been told from a lot of good sources and very accurate ones is that there have been a few coaches that have actually paid their way onto these pro teams, which is why there are still free agent pro coaches like myself and Nezra as free agents. Now, when Magic got dropped, yeah, of course he was going to get picked up right away. He got picked up by Believe the Hype. Unfortunately, us two pro coaches who are still free agents are struggling right now because a lot of these teams would rather take bribes and free money rather than having somebody with talent. And the way that usually works out, because it's happened in the past, is they'll have a coach for one event, they'll pay him, and then they'll drop the coach right after that. It does suck because it narrows down my chances of getting on one of these top teams for the first event. But in the end, usually, they find out their mistakes and they go right back to a pro coach. It's a touchy subject, and I'm very frustrated with all these pro teams. I know there's not much MLG can do about that, but it's just a really shady topic.
Well, I mean, I think that would be really disappointing, and I know a lot of the staff on Major League Gaming listens to the show, so I'd be very interested because, I mean, the one thing we want to see happen is coaching be legitimized, and when I hear stories like that, and I want to make it clear, we can't prove any of this, but if it's true, I think it's again disappointing. It further adds to the sort of perspective that coaches really aren't qualified to do what they say they're doing, and knowing that some are just buying their way onto a team is also equally disappointing. But what can you do?
And I do want to just clarify that for those that work at MLG that do listen to this, I'm not going to say who the source was, but one of them did come from the actual person that did pay them. So I heard from the coach itself who gave them money that he did. That's pretty much as close to a source as you can get when the person themselves who paid them is telling you. It's very frustrating, honestly, and unfortunately this is hurting how coaches get looked at as a whole.
Yeah, I think that's something that we've mentioned to Major League Gaming, and something we'd like to be maybe a work on is really work on a coaching certification process, something that will legitimize who pro coaches are. To be honest, I myself would love to spend more time on it, but even we have only so many hours in the day. So if somebody's looking for something as a startup business, not necessarily a business, but a program to contribute to competitive gaming, I highly recommend people think very seriously about a coaching certification program so that the coaches that are coaching Major League Gaming are not people like Boss Nasty or people who are paying their way onto a team, but they're actually coaches who are qualified and will really add value to a team. I tell you, Halo, never a dull moment. Thank you very much for that, Justin.
I do just want to clarify before I go that there has been a major team change yesterday, and it's going to influence all the teams in the next couple of weeks and how people approach it at PAX East, because I know a lot of the pro players are going to PAX East. As of yesterday, through Neighbor's stream, it happened during his stream, Triggers Down dropped Neighbor and Elamite and picked up SK and Hines. So right now, Triggers Down is SK, Hines, Hysteria, and Best Man, while Carbon is now only Chig and Soldier 187. So now we have a ton of free agents that are available, which is going to cause this massive team change through the top 16. So right now the free agents are currently Elamite Warrior, Neighbor, Ghostiami, Destin, Tizoxic, Break, Mimic, Lifestyle, Scarvane, Fear, Gilkey, Fugo, and Thuggish. There's a lot of free agents available when you have, most of the top 16 are just combine teams. So it's going to be a massive, amounts of team changes going on in the next 2 weeks.
And the shuffle starts again. Never a dull moment in Halo Reach, that's for sure. Well, thank you again, Justin, for all that.
Thank you for having me again.
Mr. Jolly, your game of choice. The week is upon us. Rift is beckoning. Are you excited, sir?
Rift. Oh, no, I'm not excited at all. I'm fine. Been walking around with an erection for about a week straight. Yeah, the whole world's excited for Rift, and I'll tell you why. This game came out of nowhere in the last couple months, and the more people were alpha and beta testing, the more people loved it, and it's got a lot of the hardcore guilds, a lot of the traditional old school MMO players, and a lot of the young ones from WoW coming over to check it out, and everyone's had nothing but good things to say about it. It launches this, fuck day does it launch? Thursday? It launches this Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I mean, everybody's psyched. Our guild in VVV is massive and notorious already through the betas. Hated by most, loved by few. We're excited to ruin some Guardians days and get in there and just mess it up for everybody. Only downside is with the massive amount of souls you can choose from in this game and different combinations. There's been a lot of forum talk and a lot of skepticism and confusion about balancing issues between the different archetypes. Warriors came out really, really, really OP OP. You can go ahead and fucking come at me, you forum trolls, but it's the truth. Anytime every single warrior in a fucking battleground is coming in number 1 every single time, top 5, they're fucking OP, eat me. Don't care what you have to say, troll away. But aside from a few adjustments to that, I'm hoping that they don't go all Warhammer on us and just tweak and answer every little forum troll's whining and mess with the classes too much. Because other than that, the game's really balanced. You know, it's a lot of fun and it's causing a lot of the theory crafting. It's forcing people to think before they do their builds, and it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, VVV is going to come in, already made a name for ourselves, and whichever server we're on, we're going to dominate and slap people. So I can't wait. And I know the whole guild is in throes of anticipation. We have a great core group of people. We picked up a lot of people throughout beta, and we're going to totally rape face, and it's going to be ugly. There's going to be a lot of trash talking on the forums, and there's going to be a lot of people already that are, pirate lords. Really sorry that you guys like to talk trash, but in every goddamn battlegrounds we're in with you guys, or Warfront, we're at the top of the charts above you. I don't even know if there are any Guardian guilds left on Briarcliff. I think they all quit. So keep talking your trash, but keep running out of the way of our Zerg. Goodbye. GG. QQ. Kill yourself.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned all that, Jolly, because I can now make several announcements. Announcement number 1, the U.S. server list is out. In surprise, there are going to be 17 U.S. servers. Half are going to be PvP servers. So for those of you out there wondering how important is PvP to Rift, well, I'm counting the PvP servers. Here they are by name. VV Gaming is going to be on Briarcliff. That is officially a server. We're going to stay on Briarcliff. It appears we've got a lot of attention from a lot of top Guardian guilds who are talking in the forums that they're going to come to Briarcliff to see if VVV is everything that it's cracked up to be. The other PvP servers are Deep Strike, Lotham, Reclaimer, Seastone, Spite Scar, and then the PvP role-playing server, Sunrest. That's 7 servers. Like I said, 7 out of 17. They're taking it quite seriously. So it's looking really good. It's also important to note that the game's not just popular here. It's also going to launch with well over a dozen European servers. And I think a lot of people are pretty excited about what we have going on in Rift. They've been releasing some recent alpha patch notes, but when this podcast goes live, VV Gaming will be on Briarcliff, Defiant, probably rolling one of the best guilds ever to hit an MMO. I'm being deadly serious. I'd also like to take this time to welcome our new VVV members, VVV Avi, Celeste, Namora, and Bloodaholic. Those are 4 new VV members who have come on board from Rift, and there are more interviews to follow. So yeah, I am equally as excited as Jolly. I've already told my friends and family my weekends are booked until my birthday, which is March 17th. So you can expect me to spend a good amount of time in Rift playing and us doing awesome things. We're going to be doing a lot for our Rift players. We're going to be holding a lot of in-game events. Tomorrow, Doomhammer will be releasing a list of in-game events and milestones that we're going to be rewarding. So, for example, the first player in VVV to 50, the first player to max out each of the craftings are going to be rewarded. So we are going to do a lot of things that no other guild does that will result in both cash and prizes. So Rift is really important to us. So those of you out there that are MMO players that would like to see what a major PvP guild looks like and how we run it, Rift will be the game for you. I want to give a shout out to you, Jolly, for your contributions both in time and cash donations to help build the VVV Rift Guild. And I also want to give a special shout out to our Argentinian applicant for already donating cash to the guild, and he has not even been accepted yet. Eridan, shout out to you, my Argentinian brother. Thank you so much. So yes, a lot of exciting things are happening in Rift, and I look forward to it probably just as much as you, Jolly.
It is just about that time, and it has come to the end of the Losers Bracket. And this week, just as always, I'd like to thank the sponsors of VVV Gaming, SteelSeries, Control Freak, MusicSkins.com, GamerLogos.net, and Custom Ink. Big thanks to the VV community. Your feedback and support is absolutely amazing. In addition, we got a ton of feedback over the last couple episodes from everyone outside of VV Gaming as well. Truthfully, we really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Keep that feedback rolling. Another big shout out, the band Power Glove. I say it every week. They're absolutely phenomenal. They do our intro and outro music. If you have not gotten the chance to listen to their music, go check it out. They've got a couple CDs, Total Ponage, really good. And I'm not just saying that, I mean, that's like part of their titles, you know, like really good stuff. But I digress. Be sure to follow us. Our podcast homepage is vvgaming.podbean.com. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes. Follow both of our shows, Directional Influence and The Losers Bracket. Just search VVV Gaming. We'll pop right up. Email us. The email address is thelosersbracket@vvv-gaming.com. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. There, we're simply known as Losers Bracket.
I'm going to be playing Rift. I'm out of here.
I'm going to be playing Rift. VVV Gaming, Briarcliff, Rift, Face Roll.
I'll be too busy dying from an awesome weekend at Jolly's Club.
I'll be too busy playing with myself. Aha!
See you next time, guys.
We'll see you next week, guys. Take care.